Spain is not just a country for soccer fans or nap lovers. It is a vibrant symphony of light, freedom, and the strange and charming. Have you ever imagined a European country with deserts, stone villages, and legal nude parties? Let's take a journey. Number 1. From Spain. You can see Africa with your naked eye. No passport, no binoculars, on a clear day, standing at the southern tip of Spain, you can see the legendary Black Continent on the other side of the Mediterranean. The southern coast of Spain is so close that you might wonder, hey, am I looking at Morocco? And the answer is, yes. This geographical position makes Spain the crossroads of the world, where Europe, Africa and even Asia come together across the Strait of Gibraltar. But don't think it's all about the sea. Spain also has a real desert, Tabernas, which was the setting for legendary Hollywood cowboy movies. A country that lets you swim in the morning, go skiing in the afternoon and see Africa in the evening. Is there a more diverse place? 2. In Spain, forgot to wear beach clothes? No problem. If you see someone casually strolling on the beach without a care in the world about what they're wearing, you're in Spain. Here, undressing doesn't mean being offensive. Spaniards celebrate physical freedom in a gentle, civilized, and self-loving way. From Playa de los Muertos to Vera Playa, resorts where you can stroll, drink coffee, and dine without worrying about whether your clothes are fashionable. Middle-aged women are also joining in more and more, because here, age doesn't cloud confidence. Although some cities like Barcelona have city limits, Spain is generally one of the few places where you have complete control over what you wear or not. Freedom comes from acceptance, and Spain does it very well. 3. A day in Spain, morning beach, afternoon skiing. Spain is a real weather monster. With its diverse terrain and rapid changes in altitude, you can get sunburned on the beach in Malaga in the morning, and cold hands in the snow in the Sierra Nevada just a few hours later. It's as if the weather here plays a game of switching roles without warning. And the best part? People are so used to it that they even keep a poncho in the trunk of their car, just in case the weather changes today. 4. Spanish women don't try to be attractive, they just be themselves. No elaborate makeup, no social media style beauty standards. Spanish women's beauty comes from their fiery gaze and confident walk. They love deeply, live truly. They don't need to chase after anyone, they build careers, manage companies, travel alone, and then still come home to cook for the whole family with a smile on their lips. Their charm doesn't come from makeup but from the way they listen, straightforward but full of emotion. Here, women don't need to try to be loved, because they know that their value lies in who they are. The more authentic they are, the more attractive they are. Perhaps that's why foreign tourists often fall in cultural love at first sight. 5. The village where rocks hang right above your head, and people still live peacefully. If you imagine a village where the entire ceiling is a giant rock hanging suspended in the air, then imagine no more. Come to Sadonal de las Bodegas in Andalusia. Here, the rocks are not underground but right on the roof. People do not break rocks to build, they build inside the rocks. Bars, bakeries, houses are all nestled in the heart of the cliff, naturally cool like green air conditioning. In the summer, the temperature outside can reach 40 degrees Celsius, but inside the houses it is still cool thanks to Mother Nature. The rocks here do not crush life, but protect it, just like the way the Spanish always find a way to live in harmony with what seems inconvenient. A place where you can drink wine and feel embraced by the rocks, sounds both adventurous and poetic, right? 6. Bars in Spain are not just for drinking, they are for living. Think Britain is the kingdom of pubs? Well, Spain is a galaxy. With over 280,000 bars and restaurants, almost every neighborhood has a place to hang out, laugh and lose track of time. In Spain, bars are not a place to get drunk, they are a place to stay sober with your emotions, with your friends, with endless stories that last until midnight. From tiny tapas bars on the side of the road to world-class bars in Barcelona, each place has its own vibe, but they all share the same spirit, freedom and connection. Spanish women go to bars not to wait for someone to buy you a drink, but to connect with each other and with themselves. And despite being a country with a high rate of alcohol consumption, drunkenness is rare, because here, drinking is to live. Not to forget. 7. There is a town that lives under a rock. This is no joke. In Saturnal de las Bodegas, there are houses nestled inside the rock, and the roofs are actually a suspended monolith. You sit and drink coffee, look up and see the rock, and still feel secure taking your first sip of the day. This small town is nestled in a canyon eroded by the Rio Trejo over millions of years. But instead of building houses with rocks, the people here choose to live inside the rocks, both to save on materials and to have natural air conditioning in the scorching summer. The streets have strange names like Calle Cueva del Sol or Calle Sombra, Sun Street, Shade Street, suggesting a lifestyle that is both poetic and connected to nature. In a place where each house is a sculpture made of stone, people learn to live with nature instead of against it, both peaceful and unique. 8. Living happily without getting married, a daily occurrence in Spain. In many places, living together without getting married can be considered not serious. But in Spain, that is the way many people choose to be serious in a flexible way. Nearly half of couples here choose to live together without getting married, thanks to the pareja de hecho model, meaning, not getting married, but still having the right to divide assets, raise children, and inherit. Love is recognized by law without the need for a wedding dress, a wedding hall or a diamond ring. With a divorce rate of nearly 60%, the Spanish have come up with a very practical but emotional philosophy: living together is not a sign of laziness, but a way to understand each other more deeply before signing a lifelong contract. A modern society where you can love with all your heart, but also love in a way that makes both of you comfortable and respects personal freedom. 9. The giant aircraft graveyard, where the flying giants sleep. You might think it's only in a science fiction movie, but in the dry winds and white sands of Teruel, Spain, you'll see hundreds of Airbus and Boeings lined up neatly like a retired army. This is the largest aircraft graveyard in Europe, but it's not just a final stop. Many come here to be maintained, refurbished, and even reborn. This place is like a quiet hospital in the middle of the desert, where each part of the plane, from the engine to the seat, is disassembled, inspected, and given a new life. During the COVID-19 pandemic, more than 100 planes from all over the world were brought here, creating a scene that was both strange and overwhelming. Who says the place of death is always gloomy? In Spain, even the graveyard has hope for rebirth. 10. The Spanish secret to longevity: eat well, nap, live slowly. Spanish people live long, very long. On average, they live to be 84 years old, just a little less than the Japanese. But the thing is, they live long and still have fun. Not thanks to supplements or high technology, but thanks to olive oil, fresh fish, red wine and long meals like TV series. They are not crazy about the gym, but they walk around the old square, climb hills, dance flamenco or simply walk the dog. The year-round sunshine helps to supplement vitamin D, and 2-hour lunches help to recharge the spirit. Spaniards are not obsessed with getting rich, they prioritize vivir bien, living well rather than living a lot. And perhaps this way of life, gentle but profound, is the most important superfood that you can't buy in the supermarket. 11. Tourists don't come to Spain just to go, they come to stay. Over 82 million tourists visit Spain every year, twice the population of the country itself. But no one leaves in a hurry. Because every city is a living dream, from Granada with its fairy tale-like Alhambra Palace, to Barcelona, where you can get lost in Gaudí's architecture and still have fun. Islands like Ibiza aren't all about parties, they're also about sleepy fishing villages where you can listen to the waves tell stories. And most importantly, the Spanish don't just see guests, they welcome them as family. 12. Football in Spain is not a sport, it's a second religion. Every time there's an El Clasico, the whole country seems to hold its breath, because it's not just Real versus Barca. It's a civil war of cultures that takes place on the pitch. Spaniards don't just watch football, they live it. From the small bars of Seville to the vast stadiums of Madrid, every kick is a heartbeat shared by millions. And don't be surprised if an 80-year-old grandmother discusses the team's lineup like a professional commentator. 13. Human towers, where children climb onto adults' heads to wave. Have you ever thought that climbing on top of other people's heads is a bad thing? In Spain, it's a festival. In the Catalonia region, people gather to build human towers up to 10 stories high, and at the top is a tiny child wearing a helmet, waving to the crowd like a little head of state. This is castells, a strange and emotional tradition, recognized by UNESCO as an intangible cultural heritage. Each tower is raised by the strength of cohesion, coordination and absolute trust. Adults act as the foundation, young people act as pillars, children climb up like climbing stairs. And the moment the child waves at the top, the whole square bursts into tears and cheers. Here, rising is not a personal matter, but the result of the whole community lifting each other up with their hearts and shoulders. 14. Madrid, the capital without sea, without mountains. But never sad. Madrid has no sea like Barcelona, nor snowy mountains like Granada, but it is a city that knows how to love itself. This city is a mix of royal history and startup energy. It has both ancient squares and booming fintech. Madridians work late, eat late, and chat for long, as if time were a tapas that could be enjoyed forever. And even though there is no sea, they still call Madrid the sunny heart of Spain, because here, everyone lives warmly. Spain is not a destination, it's a state of being. A place where you're not pressured to succeed, but encouraged to live authentically, deeply, beautifully. From the sunshine that floods the squares to the meals that last all afternoon, from the women who don't have to force themselves to shine to the way the country accepts incompleteness as part of beauty, Spain is a reminder that living slowly is never out of style.